drinking alcohol is a legitimately brain dead activity, and I don't understand why people do it. I mean, I understand why. I just don't agree with it at all. And I'm gonna get probably a lot of hate for this episode, but whatever. Perfect example of this is I was out at lunch with someone about 2 weeks ago. Topic of alcohol came up, and people were talking about their favorite alcohol, their cocktails, whatever. And for me, my stance has been alcohol doesn't make sense to me because it tastes like acid and it makes you retarded. So I don't get the appeal. And I say this, and they say, well, there are a lot of alcohols that taste pretty good. And for me, I probably have a really low tolerance for it because I taste alcohol in anything. I think in my entire life, I've had maybe half of a beer can or 3/3 of a beer can of alcohol in total. I've tasted it. I tasted these Brandywine chocolates before. Horrible. There's even this ice cream, bourbon vanilla ice cream. And I asked the guy, like, hey, it's bourbon vanilla. Is there alcohol in this? And it was like, it was used in the creation, but, it was evaporated out. You can't taste it. I try it and I taste it. Just to make sure I'm not crazy, I tried it another time, another day. I still taste it. That alcohol taste, that weird burning acid thing, I hate it. It ruins everything. So whatever they want to bring up, this alcoholic beverage tastes good. No, it fucking doesn't because it has acid in it. But beyond that, even if it did taste good, it still makes you dumb. It literally impairs your judgment and makes you stupid. So at that point, I'm like, why, if I want something that tastes good and doesn't make me stupid, why don't I just drink juice? And then they get defensive and say, oh yeah, you drink your juice. I'll drink my whatever drink they said. I'm like, now you understand. They get more defensive. Say, yeah, I already understood. All right. Anyway, people get really, really uptight when you question the point of alcohol. But let me say this. If you're trying to lose weight in any way or trying to be healthy in any way, alcohol is fucked. It is a saboteur. Is that how you say it in French? It sabotages you. Alcohol has 7 calories per gram, which if you don't know, proteins and carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. Fats have 9 calories per gram. So it essentially has the same amount of calories as a gram of protein and a gram of carbohydrates, but there's no value to it whatsoever. If you're trying to lose 30 to 50 pounds, that's a huge deal. It's also a big deal? You subscribing. That'd be super cool. Wink. The reason this is a problem is because empty calories suck. If you're trying to lose weight and you're eating food, you're adding to your calorie budget, but you don't feel full, guess what? You're going to be hungry. You're going to want to eat more. You're probably going to go over budget. Because if you fill up your entire budget and you're still hungry because the food you ate wasn't satisfying in any way, you're going to be hungry, probably go over. So if we're talking alcohol, that's a killer. Quite literally. I know a lot of tech workers are categorized as heavy drinkers, probably due to stress, due to emails, deadlines, people not answering back to you so you can fix a fucking problem. Long hours, stressing about AI. So some of these people, they're drinking like 3 to 7 drinks per day. And, I'm not a drink expert. I think a drink is like the amount of alcohol in a can of beer, right? So let's say an average of 5 beers per day for some of these tech workers who are heavy drinkers. That's kind of crazy. Sounds like alcoholism to me. A lot of people think, I can just drink one night and it'll be fine. If you drink a bunch, that's a bunch of empty calories and it can undo basically days of your efforts for weight loss, of your other calorie deficit, or it can undo the whole week. Or if you're fucking no, you can't. If you drink, no. If you gain a pound, right? Which if you're trying to lose weight, you normally lose about a pound, 500 calories of a deficit per day, right? So if you want to gain, let's say a pound for the week, that'd be 3,500 calories extra over what your body needs. If you drink 3,500 calories of alcohol in a day, I think you're you're dead maybe? I don't know. Someone listening to this is probably like, "Oh my god, this guy's a fucking pussy. He doesn't drink 3,500. I could drink that in 20. Good for you, bro." A pint of a lager or whatever that is, that's a drink, right? A pint has the same calories as a slice of pizza and probably less fun to consume. And a large glass of wine has about the same amount of calories as an ice cream sundae, which is kind of crazy. Now, ideally, all of these things should be consumed very infrequently, or in the case of alcohol, never. And the thing is, when you're losing weight, right, your body usually undergoes some recomposition, right? When you lose weight, you're losing a bunch of body fat. You're also losing a bit of muscle too. It's just how it works, right? You want to keep a lot of your muscle. You eat a shit ton of protein and exercise while you're losing weight, but you're still going to lose some. The issue with alcohol is your body treats it as a poison and it attacks it first. It prioritizes getting rid of the alcohol before touching the body fat as a process. Which means if you drink a lot, it's going to take a lot fucking longer for you to lose body fat. And I don't think that's fun for you. Let me discredit some myths about the alcohol thing. One myth is, I'll just burn off the alcohol calories with extra cardio tomorrow. Your body can't burn fat for a day or so after drinking because your metabolism is too busy attacking the ethanol. It's getting rid of that. And also, trying to outwork extra calories is not gonna work out for you. You need to prioritize having smarter intake to begin with. Next myth is light to moderate drinking won't affect my weight. This is ridiculous. Moderate drinking won't affect the weight. That's an interesting myth. That's fucking stupid. I mean, here's the thing. If you drink and all of the drinking you do fits into your calorie budget, yeah, I mean, you won't gain weight. You're probably going to be a pudgy person, but you're like a skinny fat, but mathematically, you won't gain weight. Might gain fat, though, in terms of the composition. Next myth is the calories from alcohol don't count as much as food calories. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my life. Instead of alcohol, think of it as juice or soda. Those calories still count as much as the food calories do. Next myth is I can drink during the week if I stay under the recommended limits. Mathematically, I guess you could. Now, that's if you stay in your calorie budget, of course. If you don't, and you just drink under the recommended amount of alcohol consumption above your calorie limit for the day, you're going to gain weight anyway. Next myth is drinking helps me relax and sleep better. Alcohol does absolutely not help you sleep better. Maybe sooner and you pass out, but not better. That's definitely not the case. Helps you relax? Maybe. I don't know. I don't drink alcohol. Personally, for me, I was never into that kind of thing. Like, oh man, you feel nervous or you want to work on your socialness, drink alcohol. It's social lubricant. You'll feel a bit more at ease. I'm thinking, I don't want to fucking poison myself just to become better at interactions. Let me just fucking either take forever to get better at it or just throw myself into the situation if possible. Having a liquid crutch seems kind of not great for actual development. So I wouldn't rely on it for relaxation or anything, but that's not my decision. So Mondays, if you work in an office or in tech, Mondays, always suck, especially if you're in IT or technology, because shit happens. You're usually the one solving a bunch of shit, right? But people are doing stuff over the weekend or checking stuff over the weekend. So they'll let you know about it and you'll find out on Monday. Sometimes you're the one doing stuff on the weekend. Not good. But point being, Monday, there's a shit ton of stuff that needs to be done or addressed. And if you drink over the weekend, you're going to feel like shit on Monday and you're not going to be ready to tackle the week. Because alcohol affects your sleep, makes you feel fat. I don't think that's a good combination for Mondays. As well, if you're using this for stress management, there are a lot of better ways to do so. Like probably literally anything else other than taking a chemical to feel better. So here's something that helped me. Over the summer, in my day job, there was a huge project going on it's going on for like 2 or 3 years, and it finally hit the climax, so to speak, of this project, and it was the most stressful shit I've experienced in years. Because not only were things going crazy, I didn't even know who to ask for certain things going on. I didn't even know who to ask to ask for who to ask. Like I was completely fucking lost. But with this feeling of overwhelm, basically one big tip I can give you is if you feel like there's too much going on in your head, take it out of your head and put it on paper. And I say paper, you can type it if you want to, but paper, there's a greater connection between your brain and the words there. So you can, more directly kind of leave it out of your brain, if that makes sense. And the habit has stuck even after that time because nowadays when I have a task at work, I write it on a paper notepad. And if something is not on that notepad, I don't fucking care. Before I did this, all the things that I would have to do the next day, I'd be keeping them in my head. I'd be holding them. They'd be occupying space, and I'd be stressed. Once I just put it out there on the paper, it's out of my head, and I can chill. I think that works better than drinking. That's me. Let's get into some stats over here. 36 hours is the length of time. It can be 24 to 36. Hours is the length of time that alcohol blocks fat burning after consumption. Just as a general process. So that's not great. And again, per gram, alcohol is 7 calories, closer to fats 9 calories per gram. So it's almost like, imagine you were drinking something that's full fat, right? Imagine you're drinking olive oil straight out of the bottle. Probably wouldn't do that, right? Alcohol is not super different from that in terms of the caloric intake. And when you drink a lot, about half of your body's energy is diverted to just tackling that issue instead of doing other shit, just normal bodily functions. So you're probably going to be feeling like shit too. This stat's wild. About a third of U.S. workers reported binge drinking in the past month. That's not good. A third of people are coping with a drug. Here's something, by the way. I don't want to shit on I feel like a fucking weirdo. I see no appeal in alcohol whatsoever. But here's the thing. If you drink and you're coping, you're thinking, oh man, it helps me socially, whatever. That, you should work on yourself. That's what I think. But if you're like, man, I fucking love the taste. That burning sensation, I fucking love it. Fair enough. You know what? I cannot say anything. Although here's a recommendation. Try kombucha. I don't think it's the same exact thing. I hear it's kind of similar. I don't really agree. Kombucha has kind of I don't want to say burning, but kind of that feeling, but it's more like a sharp carbonation rather than the acid shit that alcohol has. Try drinking kombucha, low calorie, and it might have a similar feel for you, and it tastes better. Try that. But if, alcoholic drinks have basically that, because I like kombucha like that kind of sharp carbonation or whatever the fuck that is, it's nice. So if it's similar to that for alcoholics out there, I don't think you should continue, but I get it, I guess. And if you can't get that satisfaction from kombucha or whatever, then okay, I guess have fun with the other thing. So I would understand that. But for other purposes, you're like, oh yeah, it tastes good. I'm really trying to get drunk though. I don't think that's the best thing to do. If you're like, oh man, I need it for social purposes. I don't think you do. I think you need more faith in yourself. But maybe my faith is misplaced. I don't know. I think you have it in you. So if you're a drinker and you understand it's not great for your weight loss or health in general, here's some stuff you can try out. First things first, what I recommend is just try logging some of this stuff. I know if you're a fucking alcoholic, you're probably not weighing your drinks or anything like that, but a lot of these drinks, they come with barcodes or clear ounces on the packaging, the bottle, can, whatever it comes in, right? Put that into MyFitnessPal or whatever. Just only track the alcohol. If you think the food's too much, just track the alcohol. Do that for a few days and look, see, is that cool? Is that okay with you and your goal? Is it? Is it? If it isn't, then, go for it. But if you look at it, it might give you more clarity on what's actually going on with this. And then you add your regular food into there as well, and you can see the budget being stretched. And if you don't go over your budget, you can still see how much of the alcohol takes up of your budget. Because that can be helpful too. If you're like, oh yeah, I'm still in my 1950 calorie range, but the alcohol took up about 600 calories. That's really important information to know, because maybe you'll think, hey, maybe a third of it, a third of my budget being on something that's not fulfilling is probably not ideal. Maybe I can change it. That's one thing. Just literally, knowledge is power. Knowledge is half the battle. Know it. And then you can act on it. Especially because most people underestimate. They think, oh man, I didn't drink too much. Meanwhile, 900 calories later. Same with with the people who go to Starbucks, drink that, the parfait thing, right? If you love it and you know it's hundreds of calories, have fun. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to have this just a little bit. No, bro. No, sis. It is thick with hundreds of calories. Just know that. If you're crazy with the drinking too, you don't have to cut things out. I am someone who, if you have a bad food habit or, a food habit that's not helpful to your goals, I almost never recommend just straight up cutting it out cold turkey. For some people, that works. For most, it doesn't. So what I recommend, instead of cutting things out, I recommend adjusting. Either do a swap or adjust the amount. And then see how you feel. You'll see what your comfort level is like. And you can act on that going forward. For example, one way this could work is if you buy, 6-pack, 12-pack of beer, put it in your fridge. Maybe buy one. Keep it in there. Because oftentimes we just do things out of habit. Oh, another beer. Just open the fridge, grab one. That's a habit, right? But if you only have one, and you finish that one, that hassle of going to the store and getting some more might prevent you from just binge drinking that day. And if you're drinking to deal with stress, as I recommended, kind of writing what your issues are out on paper so you can see them quite literally in black and white can help you observe it from a bit of an outside perspective. Many times I've written things out and I'm like, this isn't that serious, actually. Or I can see a clear way to deal with this right now. So let me, start on that. But if you keep things in your head, something that's pretty unorganized, disorganized, whatever, it's going to jumble around in there and it's not going to feel great. Also, another thing, if you're stressed on the weekend because you got all these fucking emails coming in, turn off notifications on the weekend. If you have an iPhone or whatever it is, I don't know how that works, but on Android, you can control notifications for Outlook, Teams, Slack, whatever. They have do not disturb functions on there. And if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, or if some things get through, in Android, you have the option, literally hold the app icon, then you see a little thing called App Info. Go there, go to notifications, turn them off. This way, you literally cannot be notified from that app during the weekend. So you don't get stressed out, want to drink, gain a bunch of weight, and feel dumb and bad. Just remember to turn it back on Monday. Or don't. Whatever's better. Whenever I go on vacation or if I have like a 3 or 4 day weekend, I literally put a reminder on my phone. Turn off notifications for XXX, XYZ. And then I have another one on the morning of that I go back to work, turn it back on. Because between then, I don't want to hear shit. Do not reach me. I don't want this stress. I guarantee you open your phone and you see a thing from Outlook and you're like, fuck. The stress just comes. You're like, I need to drink for whatever reason. Get rid of those notifications. And I guarantee a lot of your drinking will go down if you drink for that purpose. Just try to adjust or reduce this because it's not helpful. You're trying to lose weight, be healthy, feel good for Monday. It's not great, to be honest with you. And here's something from I'm 33 years old. As I said, my entire life, I've had maybe like 2/3 of a cup of can of beer in my entire life of alcohol. I remember the specific times too. Here it is. When I was 12 years old, I was in the Dominican Republic, and everyone in the car was drinking. I was like, "Oh, can I taste it?" And my dad was giving me some I could see. He was like, I don't know if I should be doing this. Maybe we'll see what happens, I guess. I tried it, spit it right back in because it tasted disgusting. And from that moment, I was like, yeah, I don't know why these kids want to underage drink so badly. This shit is disgusting. So I'm actually thankful for that experience. It made me realize, holy shit, this tastes bad. Then I drank, well, not drank. I had a Brandywine chocolate one Christmas years later. I was like, why does this chocolate taste horrible? And I saw it's because, oh, the burning sensation is the Brandywine. And then I had, I think, a sip of wine to taste it years ago at a New Year's thing. I'm like, this tastes bad. Or maybe I refused. I forgot. But another time on my 21st birthday, I remember walking back from college and I stopped at a store. I'm like, let me try this beer. Let me taste it. That's pretty non to drink it. I just wanted to kind of taste it just because there'd be like no issue, period. And I was sipping about half of it while I was on the phone with my friend. And I'm like, this tastes like kind of like Red Bull, but bad. If you don't like Red Bull, imagine that, but worse. And I was like, this kind of sucks. And I just threw it away. And I think after that, one other time, I think I accidentally ate a Brandywine chocolate again, I think that happened. Then the bourbon vanilla situation, twice I told you about. And in Japan recently, there was this, the sake here. It was like an apple juice one. My girlfriend tasted it. She was like, oh, this is basically apple juice. I'm like, okay, this is Japan stuff. It tastes like juice. Let me take a sip of this. A little sip. I'm like, ugh, this tastes like fucking alcohol. And she's like, you're crazy. This tastes like juice. And I'm like, no, I taste the fucking alcohol. I don't know what it is with alcohol and caffeine. Any little bit of it, I'm like, I sense this deteriorating my soul. I don't like it. What's my point with all this? Point is, I don't drink, and I gotta tell you, on a day-to-day social basis, nobody fucking cares. Anyone who hears, oh, I don't drink or whatever, says, oh, okay. The only people that I can barely remember who had like an issue, they're like, oh, why not? Why don't you drink or whatever? I don't remember what happened to them. They're not in my life anymore because either they weren't friends to begin with or they're just super immature. I don't know what happened to them. It's not like if someone questions my drinking, I stop being friends with them. It just so happens that these people who for the life of me, I can't remember specific people who asked about this. But I think they were just acquaintances or something. They weren't actual friends. Because everyone I can remember who I ever say, oh, I don't drink, they just say, oh, okay. Because nobody really cares. I think the times I'm talking about were when I was in my early 20s or something, when everyone's like a fucking drunk from college. But yeah, in real life, nobody fucking cares. So if you're scared, oh man, people peer pressure me, blah blah blah. The people who only want to hang out to drink, they're probably shit friends. No offense. If you can't hang out doing something else, then you guys probably aren't really meant to hang out too much, to be honest. But if you're worried about not drinking being an issue, it's really not. Just fucking drink water, get juice, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like nobody cares. And if they do, that's kind of their problem, not yours. So, stop drinking so fucking much if you want to lose some weight. It's not really helpful. It doesn't make you feel good. It's not great. Try water. Try Red Bull. I'd recommend kombucha over Red Bull, but put in the comments, have you tried kombucha before? I thought it was kind of a lame, one of those stupid drinks that health nuts drink. But it's actually great. It's pretty healthy too with the fermented elements of it. Let me know if you know what the fuck kombucha is. Also subscribe. Or you're not going to make it. All right. See you next time.